Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes, and welcome to Volume 3 in our series on exploring the Altissimo register for the tenor saxophone. If you're here for the first time, I encourage you to please check out Volume 1 and Volume 2 in this series, and make sure that you're on top of the ground that we cover in both of those tutorials. Also be sure to check out my tutorial on building embouchure strength for wind instrument players. It's absolutely essential that you can do the exercise prescribed in that tutorial for at least 90 seconds with ease on a daily basis before you attempt to play these extremely high notes on the saxophone. If you try and play too high too quick, all you're likely to do is get very poor results and potentially bruise or even split your bottom lip, and that'll take you out of action for days if not weeks. There's no need for that. Take your time and make sure you've got the prerequisites before you reach for the sky with the high notes. Today we're going to expand our range another 3 notes in the high altissimo register. In Volume 2, we took the saxophone up to G above high C. Today we're going to learn how to play G sharp, A and B flat above high C. Once we get to that high B flat, the altissimo B flat, we've then got a full 3 octaves on the tenor saxophone. The lowest note that we can hit on any saxophone other than the baritone sax is B flat below the music stave. Let's now have a look at the fingerings required to play these 3 new altissimo notes. G sharp above high C is best played on the tenor saxophone by pressing down the 1st and 3rd fingers on the left hand plus the octave key, so your B and G fingers on the left hand plus the octave key. On the right hand we press the F key, and with the side of our index finger we depress the side C sharp key. That's the middle of the 3 side keys. So the fingering again is on the left hand, octave key depressed, 1st finger, 3rd finger, on the right hand 1st finger, and the middle of the side trill keys, the B to C trill key. That will give you a good, reliable, in tune G sharp above high C on most tenor saxophones. Now, A above high C has a few alternate fingerings, and it really depends on your saxophone, your mouthpiece, your reed, and your own physical strength when you're playing. A number of these fingerings can either be quite sharp or a little flat. The default fingering is octave key on and the 2nd and 3rd fingers only on the left hand. Nothing depressed on the right hand, just the C and the G keys on the left hand. Fingers 2 and 3 plus the octave key. Now, on some saxophones that note will come out quite flat, and if it does, depress all the 3 fingers on the right hand in combination with the left hand fingering. So if the A comes out flat for you, put down the 1st, 2nd and 3rd fingers on the right hand in combination with the octave key on the left and the 2nd and 3rd fingers. On this saxophone and on a number of other saxophones that I've played, simply by adding in the side C key, so playing octave key on the left hand, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, the normal default way to play altissimo A, and add in the side C trill key, the B to C trill key, to that fingering, the middle of the 3 side keys. You'll find that that will bring the note well and truly above the pitch, so it'll be quite sharp. But depending on the band you're playing with, the type of music, if you're playing with a pretty strong electric band, a lot of screaming electric guitars and thumping drums and what have you in the background, the saxophone is going to sound better to err on the side of sharpness rather than being flat to blend in with those instruments. So those 3 alternate fingerings again, the default way to play altissimo A, it's all done on the left hand, octave key, 2nd and 3rd fingers. If that's flat, put on the 1st, 2nd and 3rd fingers on the right hand. If you're looking for a note that responds, a fingering that responds well but is a little sharp, play the normal altissimo A and engage the middle right hand side key. Now finally we move on to altissimo B flat, and luckily there's only one real fingering here, and the whole world seems to agree that this is the best fingering to play altissimo B flat, and it's certainly, I've found over the years that this is a very reliable way to play it. And it's simply the octave key on the left hand, just the third finger on the left hand, and the side C key, the side middle trill key. So it's a pretty simple fingering, just the third finger, the G finger, and the right hand middle trill key plus the octave key. Let's have a listen now to how these new altissimo notes sound on the tenor saxophone. I'll demonstrate the new fingerings by playing the notes as part of a major arpeggio. Arpeggio is just a name for a chord. It's a broken chord, and that's what we play on the saxophone. We can only play one note at a time. So an A flat major arpeggio will be the three notes A flat, C and E flat. And I'll play that now through 2 octaves ending on the new high altissimo G sharp or A flat fingering. So that's the fingering we just discussed. 1 and 3 on the left hand, 1 on the right, and the side C key, the middle trill key. We'll move now to the A altissimo note, and we'll demonstrate it with the A major arpeggio. So those 3 notes will be A, C sharp and E, and we'll play it through 2 octaves ending on A above high C. And that was using the extended fingering. I use the 3 fingers on the right hand in combination with the 2 and 3 for that demonstration. On my saxophone, this fingering is really not the best of the 3 alternates on this particular saxophone. So I tend to not use that fingering. I tend to use the extended fingering or the other alternate fingering which I discussed. And now finally, to complete the series, I'll demonstrate the altissimo B flat above high C. So a B flat major arpeggio will be the notes B flat, D and F, and I'll play that through 2 octaves. And you've now got all the notes you need to play a full 3 octave B flat scale. I hope you've enjoyed expanding your range into the high altissimo register another 3 notes. Remember, the fingerings are only part of the puzzle. It requires really good embouchure strength and accurate pitch hearing. Your mind's ear has to accurately hear the pitch that you're trying to play. Right up high there, more than ever, it's a matter of hearing what you're trying to do before you try and do it. I hope that's been of help. As always, keep in touch via my website. That's www.brianhayes.biz, B-I-Z, Z for Zorro. Drop me an email if you have any questions about playing the saxophone, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the very best way to keep in touch with all of the latest videos that I produce for the many instruments that I play and teach. Bye for now.